My coffee.
I said you're ready to go.
As am my coffee. Oh, right. Hello, everybody. Are we a bit wonky? Hang on, we're a bit wonky on the camera. Hang on. How's everybody today? Everybody is fine. We're a bit wonky on the camera. How's that? Is that all right? That looks a bit better, doesn't it? All right. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. How is everybody today? Good day, good day, good day. I'm just not so wonky. I'm a little bit straighter. That's looking good. How's everyone today? Everyone is looking absolutely brilliant. Plenty of people coming on. Thank you very much for everyone coming on at the moment. We're going to get plenty more people as the hour goes on. Louise, First of all, sorry. Can everyone hear me? I don't know how if people can hear, because I don't have it on there. Can people hear?
Can everybody hear me?
Oh, sorry. And you?
Yes, can everybody hear me?
Just let us know how everything is, and whether you can hear us or not. Jill says yes. Good, you can hear everyone. Thank you so much indeed. Okay, what day is it today? It's Monday.
Monday, the 16th.
Oh, I don't know where the time goes. These weeks come around so fast. And we're still drinking our coffee. We're a little bit late today, as usual. When are we ever on time?
We're on time today.
We're on time, but we're still sort of like drinking, aren't we? We're still.
I feel like I've had a productive day.
Yes, because you were a bit stressed this morning. I'm stressed. I got so much to do.
I've still got loads to do, but I've done things which have been sat on my desk for ages that I've been putting off and didn't want to do, but I've done them.
Good.
So that's good. I've still got stuff I can do when I haven't got the distraction of the shop, which I'll do towards the end of the week. So
yes,
yeah,
when
planning it
comes in. Good.
Yeah.
And you had a lovely weekend. We had a lovely weekend away. We went to Kenilworth. We had a bit of a party to go to. It was Grace, my daughter, and Matt's sort of like engagement party, and Matt's parents invited us up there. We had a few nibbles, a little bit to drink, not too much. And it was a really good day, wasn't it? And then,
it was fab.
And then yesterday we ended up going to, what's that place called again? Oh, Warwick, that's the one, Warwick. We went to Warwick, and then we went to Leamington Spa as well.
Yeah, never been to Warwick. It's lovely, isn't it? There's lots of interesting. Well, I find the architecture there interesting.
Oh yeah,
because Tudor.
Tudor, isn't it? Yeah, because every other building you walk along this modern. There's this old Tudor building stuck in there with the front doing this and the roof doing that,
and all the fronts are all like higgledy-piggledy and really quaint.
So I did actually like Warwick and Leamington Spa, the Royal Leamington Spa. That has a bit of a royal slant to it. It's quite a regal looking town, isn't it? The brickwork.
I don't know if I misheard this, but I'm sure I heard Matt say that it's called Royal Leamington Spa because Queen Victoria used to visit there.
Did she used to visit a boyfriend?
A boyfriend, yeah.
A boyfriend.
A boyfriend, yeah.
I don't know who that would be. Don't know whether that is true. We don't know.
And there's a big statue of her.
The big pigeon on the top.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pigeon
wasn't part of the statue. The pigeon didn't belong there.
Just land on it.
Things you remember, I don't know.
So that's all good. And yes, how did the interview go? Someone just mentioned. How did the interview, Dylan? Did the interview go well? Dylan, if you're on, please let us know. Please let us know. Any interview is good practice. Yes.
Definitely.
Do you know what? I'm hopeless at interviews. I would go to pieces if someone asked me questions now. Just wouldn't be good. Don't like it at all. That's why I've never had a proper job. Because I couldn't hack the interview. I couldn't hack the interviews when I was 21. Certainly couldn't hack them now. All right. Any more chit chat, Louise?
Let's have a look. Yeah, lots of questions
coming
through. That's
jewelry
good.
store in Brazil. Good
Cool.
to see you. Good to see you, Bellenis. Yes. Marianne's from Massachusetts. Jewelry online store based in Brazil. Cool. Treesman, Susan HP. Hi, Susan. Innes. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Whatever it is where you are. Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Or do you need to do anything else?
You need to say your little piece first, don't you?
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah.
Thought you'd forgotten. Go on.
No. So it's Monday, the 16th of August, 4 p.m, time for our question and answer. And Louise, I can see plenty of questions coming in. Please may we have our first question?
Yes, Susan is asking, which chain do you prefer to string stone beads, or do you use cable?
I would prefer to use a link chain, because should it break, it can always be repaired and you can always solder it back. If you have like a cable, plus I suppose it depends upon the look. Cables tend to be quite stiff and they're a bit more of a collar that come round, where I think a chain would be more of a definite V shape. So you've got, so the cable is like a wire. The cable would come round like this, you see, and here's your neck. Very slopey shoulders, would never make a postman. Although these days they just
have a trolley.
They pull trolleys these days, so what an easy life they've got.
I don't think they've got, it's like, I don't know, an easy life.
So that would be like the cable, whereas a chain would be more that sort of shape, wouldn't it? Because the chain is completely loose. So it depends on what you're after. I think I would perhaps go with like a trace link, something like that, that you can solder should it break. But if the style is this, well then yes, that is going to have to be a cable. And then you've got sort of maybe have a problem about trying to solder onto the end of the cable. It may be steel. You don't often get silver or gold cables, so you may have a problem putting the pieces on them unless you get the little crimping ends that go on. But for me, I'd always go for a chain. I want an easy life, and if it breaks, I always want to fix it. And you can please the customer then, can't you? Because if they come back and they go, oh, I've had this for you, I had it 8 months and the cable is broke, you can't fix it, and then you're gonna have to replace it. Okay, that's what I would use. So Louise, I'm gonna have my drink of my coffee, maybe have another question. I couldn't think of what I was doing then.
Just drink your coffee. Scrap is making a brooch for my grandma. Celebrated her birthday last week. Cool. Oh, lush. Brooches brooches. I want to see. Can you put a photo in the members gallery? I'd love to see. Yeah. I found some brooches, but I didn't. I acquired them. I found them in the workshop. They weren't just. I didn't just find them. I found some nice Wedgwood brooches, didn't I? Which, yeah. Wedgwood,
because we just treat them as just basic scrap, don't we? We buy them in. We just buy them for the scrap, and we just chuck them in the big container full of all silver scrap. But you had a good rummage too, and you found some nice little Wedgwood.
Yeah.
And they came out really
lots of things. Yeah, give them a nice clean, and they're looking really good. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm digressing. Rebecca is saying, do you have any advice to pour a 5mm ingot with the drill straight ingot mould for a 30-gram ingot? The metal doesn't flow well, and I heated the mould and silver superheated. Do I need oil in the mould?
So really the oil in the mould is purely there to allow the metal to be released from the mould. It has no real significance for pouring the metal into it. Now, are you talking about the moulds that are rectangular like that there upon a base, yeah, and they have the holes like this? Are you talking about that type of mould? Because I hate this type of mould. I find that you never get good results, or very occasionally you get good results, and a little clamp goes around the back.
Oh, Rebecca's saying no. Sorry, just pick that up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got an open top mould, is that right? Just like an open top mould, have you? So is it?
Pour a 5mm ingot with the drill straight ingot mould for a 30-gram ingot. The metal doesn't flow well. I heated the mould and silver superheated. Do I need oil in the mould? I listed the manufacturer. Ooh.
Ooh.
Did you list it later on? I can't see where you listed it. Sorry, it may be further down in the chat. Where did you? Oh, open top.
Okay, so it's like this then. So, 30 grams is quite a lot. There are two trains of thought here. Okay, if you pour in the centre, the metal then can flow that way and flow that way. But you may get a little bit of disturbance in the ingot, because your ingot will look something like that, and you'll have like you may have some flux in that area by there, you see, where you poured the ingot, the metal has come in, it's gone that way and gone that way. So sometimes then when you roll this down, you don't get a nice long ingot because you get past some impurities that may become in this ingot in this area. So I think what I would do is pour it from the end, but pour it in the direction. So don't pour it down, but just pour it in this direction so the metal will flow. 30 grams is quite a bit. If you can do 10, 15 grams, it's quite straightforward, but 30 grams is going to be quite a lot. So I would always then, if you're doing 30 grams, you've got to try and have a nice wide slot. So don't go for the extra wide, this on the other side. And on the topper here, you've got two, haven't you? You've got like a narrowish one and then quite a big one. Now, even though you may be drawing wire down, I would always pour it into the wider one, knowing that the metal is going to flow easier along a wide channel than a narrow channel. And then from the wide channel here, you can still roll it down. So even though you may be wanting nice thin wire, don't be tempted to use the narrow one. Always go with the big one. The metal is going to stay molten for longer and it should be able to travel along the ingot mold. So I don't know which one you're using, perhaps you can just let me know, but I'd always go for the wider. It's going to flow. You're going to get a bit more of a successful ingot using that, and then use the rolling mill or hammer it thinner. Yes, Lou?
Andre is saying, can you still go on and tell us about the closed mould, why that one is not a good idea? And is it possible to pour and fill the whole strip?
Yep, as on the open one, yeah.
Yeah, Rebecca is in the manufacturer, is HM Studio.
Okay.
Yep.
So yes, you can still fill up a whole one of these, not a problem. But again, I would always try and make sure that the ingot mold is hot, not necessarily glowing red hot, because that would take far too much heat, and always then pour from this direction. And you've got to always make sure that obviously that your metal is above the melting temperature, because as soon as you pour it, if it isn't, it'll solidify as it goes along. So it has to be really superheated, as you exactly said. So it has to be hotter, higher temperature than the melting point to allow it then to travel. But again, you're going to find it really hard to fill the narrow channel because it's narrow, and the smaller the mass, the quicker it will cool down. So you will have problems trying to fill the whole strip of the narrow one. Although with the wide one here and also on the other side, which is the one with just the one strip on the other side, you can fill that up because it's thicker, it's bigger, it's wider, and retains the heat. So yeah, so I've got one of these. I very, very rarely use it, and that goes up on the base like that. Okay, so I very rarely use this. I find that the results from this are absolute rubbish. Even though you may get nice round wire when you pour it, there will always be a lot of flashing. So you may have your, what may look a lovely, nice, clean rod. You're going to get a lot of flashing on the outside, which is no problem because you can easily file that off. But sometimes what looks like a really good pour actually isn't, because as you're pouring it down, the metal is going down on top. If you've got any little bits of flux that happen to be taken in with it, it gets taken down into the inside of your little ingot, your round ingot, and the flux is inside, but you don't know it's inside until you start to roll it out or to shape it or to draw it down. So that's why I always like the open top, because when you pour it, it is molten coming along here. If there's anything in the metal, it will always be pushed up to the surface because there is a surface here. On this, when the metal is coming down in this direction, anything that happens to be impurity that goes in will be pushed into it, and more metal will come on top and it gets trapped inside. So that's the reason why I don't necessarily like to make wire using these. But if you turn it over the ingot mold, you can get some sheet. And yes, I will often use that if I need some wide sheet that I know that the open top mold would not be able to allow me to make. And because of that, that will work quite nicely. From this, I would pour in from the one side, so the metal goes in, and the metal then has a chance to come round and to make a nice flat rectangular ingot. And that is okay, but this open top mold is something that I would always want to do. Hope that helped. Any more questions on that? That was quite a long answer, but any more questions? And that's the reason why I don't like using those wire molds.
Okay.
Anything else on that?
No, I think
Nothing?
that's...
Cool. That's
Yeah.
okay. Excellent. Okay, may we have another question?
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I think it's worth mentioning Steve's shop, isn't it? We had the pleasure of talking to, I don't know if he's on actually.
Steve
Satow.
Yes.
Are you there, Steve? And he's open, and I didn't know a lot about it.
He's opened the shop. I can't remember where it is. Is it?
Susan might know, because I know Susan's in touch with him, but he's opened a shop in the US, and I'm sure they do mail order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, if you know anything about it, Susan.
Please let us
Yeah,
know.
it was lovely to speak to him, because I've spoke to him before, but he rang up to speak to us about
a job.
a job. Yeah. So
On Friday.
I don't think he's.
And unfortunately, he got cut off. His cell phone company cut him off mid-flow. But yeah, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know,
Yeah.
because it'd be good to post some information about that.
There is some information that I want to give out, actually.
Is there? Oh, Brownsville, is it? Okay, cool.
Brownsville. Okay.
So what exactly does he supply?
I don't know.
Oh, that's would be handy to know, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes. We don't know.
Yeah, I know he modifies tools and which is really cool. And if you want something done, he'll do his best to help, won't he?
Yes.
So yeah.
Possibly, I'll have a quick search on there now while I'm chatting.
Yeah, or we'll speak to him and let you know next week, perhaps.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. So there is one thing I forgot to mention. It was mentioned, why we haven't mentioned it on the Q&A, I really don't know. At the Bench has an August offer. Why did we put out... We put out to all the free views the offer. It's £99. If you watch it and you want to join at the bench down there and up by there, okay, at the bench, okay, at the bench dot. Wait, no, it's on the screen. No, it's on the screen. It's on the screen by there. On the screen, it's down there. Okay, atthebench.com. August is £99. Okay, so instead of £180, it's £99, £81 off. Renews at £99. So if you join in the month of August, it's only £99. You will only get charged a maximum of £99 for each recurring year you happen to stay. And
what's the code, Andrew?
the code is the best.
Thought you were going to break into song then. Thought you were going to do
Because I can't say
Tina Turner.
Can't say simply the best because they can we'll write simply the best.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
it's just the best.
just the best. Yes.
Better than all the rest.
Better than all the rest.
So it's simply the best. No, it's just the best.
The best. Better than all the rest. So Louise, could you just pop?
Better than anyone. Anyway, yeah.
Can
the
you just pop
best.
down in the chat the link to enable you to get At the Bench subscription for £99. It is ATB.
You've taken it off here.
No, it was never on there.
Oh,
Sorry,
I'll just type it manually.
Oh, can you?
I think I can manage it. ATB.
Is it atb.yt
ATB.
/99?
Oh no, okay.
You may want to put www in front, it may not come up. I don't know.
I think it normally does.
Does it? Okay,
Yeah.
cool, that's right.
So this is.
If you go there and you do not have to put
heck,
the
what's
code
happened?
in.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Wait. Oh, flipping heck. Right, I'm back. Hang on. Right.
Right. Oh, yeah, live. Good. Well
Here we
done,
go,
Lou.
here we go,
Well
here we go.
done, Lou. We're back.
Right.
We're back. Well, we never left.
They didn't notice.
They didn't notice. But I can notice.
No.
.atb.
.yt.
/99. So you don't need to have to put a code in. If you go to that web address, you do not have to put a code in. The code is already inputted into the checkout. So it's atb.yt /99. And that is for 99 memberships. So every year then, if you stay a member, your membership will still be £99 and not £180, purely for the month of August. We were the original online jewellery training website. We are the largest with over 1,600 films. We as you know, we give away, it's a bit of a plug, a bit of an advert now, isn't it? We give away tools every single month. We have got loads of Durston products to give away. We've got GRS products to give away as well. And we're going to be getting GRS products. We're going to be thinking like the ball vise, the benchmate system. We've got Fordham handpieces, Fordham flex shafts as well. We're going to be able to give away, and that'll be towards Christmas time. But for the time being, it's all Durston. And if you are a paid member of At The Bench, you've only got to pay £99 this month, and you could be in with a chance of winning every single month some tools. Probably worth around 180, 250 pounds.
A bit more than that some months.
250, yes, some months even more.
Don't forget Louise's special price.
Louise's special price, that, yeah, whatever. That's priceless, darling. That's priceless. So yeah, so you can win yourself things like Durston disc cutters, oval disc cutters, jump ringers, bangle forming die sets, shank benders. I'm going to try and get Matthew to sort of wangle one of his new ultrasonics. I'm looking over there because I got one down there to play with. Yeah, we got micro balls, we got benchmates, we got Fordham SR flex shafts, pendant motors. We got the lot. Every month we are giving away, it works out around about £3,000 for the whole year's worth of equipment that we are giving away. And you don't have to do anything for it. Some other places will ask you to do this, to do that, to submit this, to check this and check that. We don't want you to do that because we know everybody's lives at the moment is so busy, and we don't need you to make up items purely for a competition. So what you've got to do is purely be a paid member of At The Bench. That's all you've got to be. Don't have to enter into anything. As soon as you join with a paid membership, you are automatically entered into our monthly draw to win the tools. And you got to choose whichever tool, and wherever you are in the world. I think we sent bangle forming die set to France.
We did.
Last year, or this month, or sorry, last month we sent, what did
it was
Sina want? The doming kit. Yeah, doming kit.
And she did an absolutely fabulous unboxing video. Did. It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was so good.
And I noticed, I think Wing Wo Watchmaker have used the video on their story today on Instagram as well. So yeah, so it's really good. Really
it sounds
good.
The best.
It does the best. And if you want to join up, just go to atb.yt/99. That's all you got to do. Okay, enough advertising.
Would you like another question?
I'd love another question. Yes, please, Louise.
Let me just repost this.
Okay.
Sandra is asking, can you modify hardened steel tools with your Fordham flex shaft, or do you need a bench grinder? I'm having trouble centering drilled holes. Maybe sharpening my punch would help. Okay,
yes, you can. You can get away with even using these little guys here. These little emery paper mandrels. Something like this could do it if you wanted just a little bit of a touch up without doing too much. If you want to do an awful lot of shaping, then you would have to heat up your steel until it discolors, then you let it cool, and that removes the hardness. Then you can file it, shape it, buff it, whatever you want to do to it. And yes, you can use your flex shaft, you can use these little emery rolls, you can use these little wheels as well. These little stone wheels, you can use little ceramic wheels, whatever you want. You can modify and sharpen the center punch with that if you wanted to. Then what you need to do is to heat up the metal until it's red, quench it in oil, take it out of the oil when it's cooled, emery the tip, and then just warm up the opposite end to where you want it hardened until the straw color just gets the tip, then stop. And then that piece then has been hardened and has been tempered. But in theory, you don't really need to do that. If you want to sharpen the tip on your center punch, so something like this, or even if you just want to use, I'm looking frantically for my buff stick, or if you just want to simply use, have I got a buff stick here? Yeah, you can even use your little emery buff stick like this, and you can use this just to refine the tip to make it nice and pointy. But it may not be that, it may be the drill that you're using doesn't have a nice point. And you can get what's called Ceragloss wheels. They are Ceraglos, Get the yellow one, okay? Not cheap. They're about 25, 30 pounds for a little wheel. Very similar to this, but this wheel here would be yellow. And from that, you can do some lovely sharpening to the tips on the drills. Very handy as well, because if you're having to snap your drill, you can always resharpen the drill so you can keep on using them. These Serra-Gloss wheels that go in your flex shaft, you can get the, so here's the wheel. You can get the tip of your drill right on here and you can sharpen them to your heart's content. So the answer is yes. Did you, oh, we're going to find it next time, won't we? Sorry. Yes, next question, please, Louise.
Okay, Faye is asking for recommendations for buying silver sheet and wire from other than Cookson.
Lots of places out there, depending if you're a member of the Society of British Jewellers or the Guild of Jewellery Designers on Facebook, you can get discounts from Cookson. So Cookson still may be your cheapest. The other companies that I have dealt with in the past, the company Warstore Lane is called Metalor. All right, they're a good company. I think they're Swiss. You've got another company.
Sounds like a He-Man character.
What? Metalor. Perhaps it would be my superhero name.
I think it would be.
Metalor.
No, I'm going to give a few names for you.
Thank you very much. Keep them clean. Bet's Metal Sale. No swearing. Or Bet's Metal Sale.
I would.
Bet's Metal or, yeah, Cookson. I think they're pretty much the same. Rash Bell. So these are all the sort of places where you get your silver from. Rash Bell is really good if you want things like bezel strips, decorative bezel strips. I find they have one of the best selections. Cookson's, meh. Bet's, meh. Metal, meh. That wasn't a sheet, by the way. But if you want decorative bezels, Rash Bell's good. Any of those. But if you're a member of the Guild of Jewellery Designers or the British Society of Jewellers on Facebook, they will set you up with a discount with Cookson. So Cookson still may be your cheapest. And the best way to check on that is to log in without logging in. Sorry, go onto the website without logging in, put items in your basket, silver sheet, for instance, a particular size, check out what it's going to cost you, log in then with your username and your password, same piece of metal, and see what the price is. And there should be a difference. When you're logged in, it should be cheaper. And a little tip for nothing. Andrew's going to give you a little tip. All right, I managed to swindle Cookson out of a little bit of money, and I'm going to tell you how. Next question, though, I'll tell you in a minute.
So you do. I'm just typing something in it so you can
Can
do
I?
your tip
Oh,
now.
I was going to keep everyone in suspenders.
Okay, just give me a minute.
All right, so the little tip here from Cookson's, I can save you a little bit of money. And this works all the time, okay? And if I say this now, Cookson are going to be watching, they're going to go, we're going to put a stop to that. Okay, you want a piece of metal, all right? Say you're making some dog tags, okay? So you want a piece of metal that may be, I don't know, 20 by 30. It doesn't have to, it can be anything, okay? Any piece of metal. Say you want to make some dog tags, but you want to make,
Ooh.
Our light is going, but our lights aren't flashing. What is going on with our light? Well, I'm not quite sure, but thank you very much. If anyone has sent us a super chat, super duper chat, I don't think they have because the lights aren't flashing, but thank you very much. Okay, so 20 by 30, it can be anything. Wire, sheet, whatever, and you want it cut to a specific size. Okay, in the checkout, it has quantity, okay? And if you want 5 pieces, never put your quantity of 5 because they will charge you for every one you cut. All right, it may sound a bit strange, so don't put you want 5 of those pieces, okay, or whatever it would be. You know, a piece of wire and it's 40 millimeters long and it's 1 millimeter and you want 5 of those. Don't put the quantity of 5 because they will charge you to cut it. Put a quantity of 1, okay? Then what you can do is add that to your basket, come back to this, put a quantity of 1, add it to your basket and do that 5 times. And it is a lot cheaper by doing 5 of those at 1 rather than doing it once with 5. If you don't believe me, check it out, okay? So piece of metal, put 5, check out the price in the basket, or do it my way and have 5 individual lines in your basket of the same amount, and it will work out cheaper. Fingers crossed they still do it that way. So that'll save you, it could save you £2 or £3. It's for free. Next question then, please, Louise.
Yep. Jeanette is asking, do I need to use Flux when I'm sweat soldering fine silver?
In theory, no, but I don't think it matters too much whether you do or whether you don't. I still would like to put some Flux over it, knowing that it keeps the surface nice and clean. You don't have to do it because in theory there's no copper, nothing in the fine silver that is going to react with the oxygen from your torch. So in theory you don't have to, because as soon as the metal starts to shimmer it will fuse. But I always like to keep that little area still nice and clean, away from the oxygen and any impurities that may be in the gas. So I would always use a little bit of Flux, but no, you certainly do not have to. Is everyone absolutely blown away by my money saving tip from Flux?
I missed it, I was typing something.
Okay, never mind. Next question.
Tell me later.
Next question, then, please, Louise.
Kristen has just got a baby bottle warmer for pickle.
Hey.
What temperature is best?
I have it on about a medium heat. I don't think you want it on a very cool or very hot. If you have it on very hot, sometimes the water does bubble and boils, and sometimes it'll boil quite dry. You have a little dial, you have a little knob, and you have the little things that get bigger and bigger and bigger like that. Just put it halfway, not too cold, not too hot, halfway, nice and warm. As long as the pickle has the warmth to it, it will make sure that it's nice and works far, far quicker and easier than having it cold. Yes.
So just take the chill off it then.
Yeah, but a bit more than that. You don't want it boiling because they will boil.
So hot. The thing is, you're not going to feel it, obviously. So
no.
Yeah.
So halfway.
It's hard to know.
Yeah. So don't have it on cold. Don't have it on hot. But halfway, and you should be fine. Yes.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay. Tanya has tried to get rid of fire scale, but it's still on my pendant. Have you any other ideas, please?
I don't know what ideas that you've done and what things that you've done, but it is purely elbow grease. You have to use elbow grease.
Okay.
Basically, you just need buff sticks or you need files. You will get rid of it. It is literally microscopic, but you have to physically abrade it. Some people will try and put loads and loads of Tripoli or pre-polish on a polishing motor and try and polish it and grind it off that way. It never works because the copper layer, there's your sheet of silver looking sideways and you've got some fire scale on it, but then as you polish this fire scale, and here's your mop then here, yeah, so this is spinning around. So as the mop comes along, it'll dig away at the areas that haven't got the fire scale, and because the fire scale is copper, it's harder than the silver, and these areas will be slightly resisting the polish. And then what you'll find when it does get rid of the fire scale, your surface will be like that. So don't try and do it that way. You've always got to go over it with an emery paper or one of those little sanding rolls that I just talked about, something like this, and put in the work, and you have to physically abrade it. If you polish it and it comes back on there a little bit, well, then you haven't got rid of it properly, so you have to go back over it again. And usually try and see it when you've actually polished it, and then you got to go back. But yeah, next question, please, Louise.
Okay. Martin is asking, while soldering, how long does borax protect your workpiece? I had to heat something for a long time for lots of soldering. I worried about heating the borax too long. No,
I don't think you can actually get rid of borax by heating it too much. Some people say my borax is turning colour, it's turning brown, or I've boiled it, or it's gone black. That's fine. Borax does that. Borax will go black, it will go brown, it will go grey. There's nothing wrong with that. You can keep heating it, and as long as you see the borax on the piece, it is being protected. Doesn't matter what colour it is, it could be black, brown, grey, whatever colour it is, as long as there is that glassy covering on the metal, it is protecting the area that it is covering. If other areas haven't got that borax on, well then stop, perhaps reapply it, get the end of the borax comb and just dab it on the areas so it sort of not melts but fuses to the metal. You can keep heating, and as long as it's still on the surface, it is all nice and fine.
Okay.
That's it.
Paul is asking what drill is smallest for a 3/0 blade?
0.7 be nice. You can go thinner than a 0.7 down to about a 0.5 if you wanted to. I don't think there's any need to do that because you've got to take so much care when you come to drill. But my go-to blade is about a drill is about a 0.7 or 0.9, and that should be fine for 3-stroke blade. Yes. Next question.
Okay, Gillian would like to see a photo of your daughter's engagement ring.
Oh, okay. Should we have a look? Let's have a look. It's actually on Instagram. Oops, daisy, my glasses were on top of my head.
Paul's question was for piercing.
Yeah, 0.7.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
0.7 be fine. Okay, so we don't have it on the screen, so I'll zoom in on this to show you. Where's the video of it going round? Okay, so can we come nice and close on this? So this is Grace's engagement ring. This was taken with the gem light box, and I'll come round. There's a bit of dust on the turntable on this particular film. Yeah, so that's what it is there. It's a nice, gorgeous little 1 carat emerald cut. It's a side view. There we go. So there it is there. It is an absolutely gorgeous ring. She's got tiny fingers. Size H, was it? It was about a size H.
She's very slender. She's very petite, isn't she? So yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
so there
stunning.
It is there. It is nice, simple, nothing flash, nothing over the top, but a nice 1 carat F colour VVS diamond. And Louise spent ages choosing that as well. And we got loads of pictures on here of all the diamonds we had in. Let me just come back onto here. We got loads and loads of pictures of all the diamonds that we went through, looking to try and see which ones looked the best, which ones were great. We had like 3 gorgeous little 1 carats. Yeah, so we had lots of fun doing all that. But thank you for that. Good. Next question then, please, Louise.
Okay. How far did we get?
Will do, Joe. Thank you.
Berenice is asking why it's so hard to solder tiny pieces of silver 950. I found myself using silver 925 for tiny little jump rings and sort of things. Is that a solution? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Over here, we don't have 950, we have 958. No, 5. What do we have 950? That's Britannia. Don't often get 950 or use Britannia unless it's for things like cutlery, dishes, plates, for raising teapots, that sort of things, and bowls. But 925 silver, I think solder is going to be fine for what you're doing. Yes, absolutely. Easy. That's great. Next question, please. Okay. Lee is asking, what is the difference, if any, between a scorper and a graver?
There is nothing at all. It just depends upon the shape. I think a scorper has a particular shape. I think, it's a scorper. Is a scorper that shape? Yeah, I think that's a scorper. But it is a graver at the end of the day. I think that's a scorper, which is that. Sorry, spit stick. That's a spit stick. Don't ask me why it's called a spit stick. I think that's a spit stick. And the scorper was this shape, if I remember right. And that's a scorper. Oh,
so it just comes down to the shape of the...
Yeah, but they're all gravers. Yeah, the general term is gravers, and then they do have then little...
Why is it called a spit stick?
I don't know. Spit the dog, remember? Spit the dog. Yeah. Okay. Next question, please. Before we get.
Kenneth Ward. Hi, Kenneth.
Hi, Kenneth.
Is asking. I wonder if 0.7mm sterling sheet is too thick to make a synclastic bangle using the nudist and synclastic bangle mandrels. I do have the rubber mallet for this.
No, I think 0.7 is going to be fine. I'm not quite sure when my bangle is that I made a while ago, but no, 0.7 is going to be fine. I wouldn't necessarily go too thin because what you may find, it may be slightly twisty, but 0.7 should be just exactly right. Yes, you need a nice rubber mallet because it has to conform, because you've got the bangle formers of this shape, you've got your piece of silver on the top. If you hit it with a hard down here and it just won't work, what you have to do is hit it with a rubber mallet, so when it hits, it'll actually shape it to the shape of the mandrel that you've got there. So yeah, rubber mallet, 0.7, just right. Cool. Next question.
AR Opals is going to start setting some of my Australian opal I cut.
Nice.
What size bezel wire for the size and size of backing do you suggest for my opal? And it'll be the same for the ring and pendant cups. Will it be the same? And for the ring and pendant cups?
Yeah, so you sometimes when you come to using backing for rings, because of rings are used and worn and they get bashed and they get knocked, sometimes the back plates on a ring, if you're soldering the shank onto it, so you've got the bezel here, you've got the ring shank coming around here, yep. And then with this junction here, where this shank meets the underneath, okay, so then we got the shank looking down, here's the ring on top, yep, does that make sense? There we go. And where the junction is here between the ring and the back plate has to be pretty strong, because obviously by this being on top, it's going to get knocked, it's going to get caught. So the back plate has to be thicker on a ring than it does on a pendant or earrings, because it is purely there just to add strength perhaps to the bezel itself. But when it comes to the ring, the back plate gives strength to the bezel, but also acts as a connection between that and the shank. So ring, thicker bezel, thicker back plate, pendant and earrings can be thin. And also, if you wanted to, you can always cut out the back of, not on a ring. If you had a pendant, you can always cut out the back plate to have a little bit of an opening if you wanted to, and likewise with the earrings. So you don't necessarily need a whole back plate for a pendant or the earrings, but on a ring you definitely do. But yeah, I'd love to see the opals. We've got some gorgeous opals in, haven't we, been setting today?
Yeah, they're faceted.
These are faceted opal, yeah.
And they're really nice. You would prefer an opal cab, don't you?
I would, yes.
But they look really magical faceted, I think.
They do, but they don't look like opals, do they?
They look less opally than cab opals, if that makes sense. Yeah. But they're still really lovely. They look a bit more sort of magical fairy-like.
They do,
I think.
yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah, they're very nice. Yes.
Cool. From AE Wards.
AE Wards.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Pete has recently started dabbling in silver working. Which type of solder should I be using? Bought some plate solder. Found too much heat required, ended up melting fine bits of silver.
So repeat the first part of the question.
No. What type of solder should I be using? Bought some plate solder, found too much heat required, ended up melting bits of fine silver.
Okay, so really what you want to be doing is using something like a medium solder or an easy solder when it comes to using your silver solder. Anything hotter than that is really coming to the melting point of perhaps your fine silver. Onglet, yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, onglet, spit stick, scorper, exactly, Susan, yeah. But yes, so never try and use a hard solder when it comes to fine silver. I think you're going to be very, very close to the melting point. So to save your sanity, use a lower melting point solder, like a medium or an easy. Don't try and use something called soft solder, because that is not silver solder that's used within the jewelry trade. I would definitely use an easy or a medium. What metal thickness for back plates? Jacqueline, it depends upon you. I've jumped ahead, I just saw it. It's appertaining to the last question, isn't it? Like that, appertaining, like that.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
Very good. So yeah, on the back plate for perhaps earrings or a pendant, you could do perhaps 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 millimeter. Not quite sure what thickness that would be in foreign language. In American, even though I do have my tables around here somewhere, but I don't now. But for a ring, make it at least 0.7 millimeters because it needs the strength to resist the movement. Absolutely. And obviously, the bigger the piece, the more flexibility that back plate is going to have as well. Next question, please.
So as you've jumped ahead, I did notice a question earlier about costings, which is a question that comes up time and time again, isn't it? It's a really good question about pricing your work versus your costings and your labour and your materials.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if it's worth me sharing my template that I use for the Calon.
You can, but even from that, you still have to work out how do you come to a cost when it comes to polishing.
I know, but it might help people to see everything that we factor in. Because I tell you what we haven't factored in, and I thought about this last week, because we factored in, obviously, labour.
Yes.
But that depends on who's doing it, doesn't it, and what
Yes.
their hourly rate is. We factored in, obviously, findings. We didn't factor in, like I've been getting through those nylon brushes like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
I didn't factor any of that in. And I know, like, obviously you're not going to, I suppose you should factor in your Tripoli and your rouge and that's, but I didn't factor that in.
Again, that is really minimal.
That's minimal, but those brushes, I know they're inexpensive, but when you get through them, if you sat there polishing all day long, and I did start to think, I'm getting through a lot of these.
Well,
and
you
I
seem to get through a lot of them.
What am I doing wrong then?
I don't know.
Why am I getting through?
I don't
it's
know.
because I'm working so hard.
Most probably is, Louise, because you're working so hard.
I know, but I did think I haven't costed these into my spreadsheet. So what I'm saying is I don't know whether it's worth
We'll do it.
sharing that on At the Bench, just to say this is what we do, so you can see the level of detail that we include in our costings for manufacture.
That would be a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. Because some people hate Excel, don't they, in spreadsheets? But it's easy to you can just copy the headings and.
It's a good way of doing it. But yes, I think in theory you should work to an hourly rate, but it is such a minefield, and it is so not complicated, but it really is a time-consuming thing. And in theory, you should only need to do it once to find out what your hourly rate is.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
No, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
But it is important, and as Louise says, once you find out how much your hourly rate is, you can then factor that into a spreadsheet, and with that you've got your hourly rate, and your hourly rate...
Or even just a book, an inventory. It doesn't have to be on computerised, does it? It can just be something really, really simple,
Because what's also quite a good idea is for you to get like little index cards for each piece that you make, and on that index card you can write down the materials that you've used, the sizes, the cost, the findings and the cost and everything that relates to the piece you just made. So when you come to remake it, you may have a nice little photograph of it, and on that sheet then has all the information that you need for that particular piece. And some people do that, and that's actually a really good way of sort of keeping an idea of, like, well, what metal did I use? What thickness was it now? And how much was that? And you can always go back to it.
Keep an eye on your variable costs as well, because obviously sundries and things that you're buying in, let's say consumables, could vary in price over time. So it's things like that, isn't it? Because I think I've underpriced slightly.
Some pieces,
Yeah, and I'm just starting learning polishing and finishing, and I'm slow. But then obviously the customer shouldn't have to pay for my. But I'm gonna.
As your experience is going, because as you're polishing and then you're showing me the pieces, like Louise, there's a little bit, but I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And it's actually knowing what to look out for when you're polishing, and then it becomes in.
Do you know what the observation I've noticed? And I'm going totally off the point. The observation is training to observe. It's the same with gemstones, isn't it? Is more of a skill, I think, or certainly as much of a skill as actually physically learning how to how to resolve it, or how to actually physically do it.
And then working out what tool, what brush, what burr, what mop will get into that particular area that needs to be cleaned as well.
Sorry, we've gone way off the point now. Sorry, it's my fault.
Yes. But I think it's something that we should look at. We should put together a table of all variables for you then to come along to fill in, to come up with a value. Because don't forget,
it's just an idea, isn't it? A starting point of what we do, and then probably it's going to be different, isn't it? But it's just
and don't
something to work from.
And don't be surprised on the little amount of time you actually spend sat here at the bench, because you do other things like your invoicing, your social media, and everything else that you have to, in theory, pay for. So very, very quickly, okay, so there's 52 weeks in a year. Very quick this is, okay, just if you get an idea. How many weeks holiday do you want? How many weeks holiday do you want, Louise?
How many do I want? Well, I think I'm entitled to 28 days, including bank holidays. So,
which is, what's that, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks?
Well, pro rata.
4 7s are 28. So 4 weeks plus
for
holidays.
For a full-time person, yeah.
Okay, so in theory, you're self-employed.
It's 4 weeks plus bank holidays, yeah.
Okay, so really, say, what's that? In total, for argument's sake, say 5 weeks, yeah? In total, okay? So out of those 52, 5 weeks, you're on holiday. So now that has come down now. You're only working 47 weeks. You only want to work 5 days a week. You want to perhaps have your weekends off. So you times 47. You on the calculator?
You want me to do this, do you?
Yes,
okay.
please. So that's
Can't you do quick maths in your head?
No, 47 weeks, and you want to work 5 days a week. So how many days are you working?
You're working 235. Quick, yeah.
Thank you. So 235 days, okay? Out of 365. So that's a hell of a lot, isn't it? Go on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So you're only working 235 days, okay? So within a day, you work 8 hours, okay? So an 8-hour day. You are stopped for lunch, okay? So now you're down to 7 hours. But out of those 7 hours, how many of those hours are you actually going to be sat here being productive? You're not going to be working 7 hours, because you're not. Don't even try and kid yourself, because you've got to go on your Facebook, you've got to do Instagram, you've got to take some photographs, you've got to do invoicing, you've got to emails, private messaging. Yeah. So take at least 2 hours out of that. Yeah, 2 hours?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
realistically.
I'd say minimum out of that, so 2 hours.
Your admin and your, yeah.
So you're only being productive for 5 hours. You're making money 5 hours a day. So you times 5 times 235, which is
1,175.
So that's how many hours a year you are productive, okay? So that's an important number, okay? Now what you have to do is, on another piece of paper, is work out your rent, your rates, your gas, your electric, your heating, your everything else, how much depreciation on the tools. You are put some money aside every year to buy new tools. That'll depreciate, was it 20% a year? You've got to factor that into it. You've got your consumables then that Louise was talking about, like your brushes and your mops and so forth. So all that then has to be taken into consideration, and then you get a magical figure of what it actually costs you to run your business, which could be, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what it would be. Say,
it'd be different, isn't it, for everybody?
Yeah, it's going to be different. So say I have to earn £20,000, for argument's sake, okay, just to cover my bills. Then you divide 20,000 by 1,175 hours. That then is what you have to earn every hour, purely to pay your bills, which is
£17.
Okay, so that's just,
that's breaking even.
That's just to cover your bills. Okay, but on top of that, you have to add on the materials that you're using for that particular job. But that's just that. So if you want to make a profit, you want to make some more money, you have to then add on that and factor that in. So this little, so how much you charge per hour encompasses all this, which is what your variables would be, plus your material costs, your findings, your setting charges and so forth. So you'd be surprised at how much you actually have to earn and how little hours in a day you can work for just to break even. And it's quite scary, but you have to do it, because if I was charging £10 an hour, for argument's sake, on a piece,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be making any
You'd
money.
lose
I'd be
money.
losing money. So it's important to know exactly how much money is going out. And don't forget, that's got to include your website hosting, your website, whether you use any plugins for your website. If you're using things like WooCommerce, you've got to factor in, headed note paper. If people still use headed note paper, so much more into it than what you actually. But we could go on and talk for hours. But I think perhaps you should have a whole scenario on a question and answer of what a typical costing, but everything you could possibly think of. Because it's not just simple rent rates and electric. There's so many more variables involved. Buying your bench.
Be good to have some sort of, we can get all the guys to say, like, shout out costs, and we can have a big mind map and just work collaboratively like that
with everybody on screen. And I think that'd be really good. Really good.
Okay,
we digressed an awful lot, so I apologise for that.
Yeah, my fault, sorry. Did we finish the Opal question?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. Okay, great.
Okay, so that's just to give you some sort of idea.
Yeah, I'll try and share my spreadsheet anyway, just because,
Cool. And don't forget, metal costs change all the time. Anyway, that's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to just keep an eye on your variables as well.
Yes. Have a whole hour in the next marathon. Yes, that would be really good. Really good. Okay. All right, then.
Oh, yeah, I was interested in Christine. Well, interested in everybody's question, but Christine's question, because I come across this every day because I'm customer facing a lot. Christine's mum would like me to make her a ring. Not me. Christine would like Christine to make her a ring. She has arthritis. A ring that fits over her swollen knuckles is way too big for the part of the finger where the ring is worn. She doesn't like open rings. Any thoughts? A shank that opens, hinged maybe?
Yes, you can buy them. In America, you can buy I can't remember for life what they're called now. You can buy the special shanks already done, and they have a little fastening like that, and on this side then would have the corresponding something like that. I can't remember what they're called now. And sometimes that's on the back of the shank, and then this is hinged here, that's hinged there, and that gets soldered onto. And there's loads of different ways you can do it. You can do it yourself if you're very good with making hinges and making little sort of clasp sections down here. There's a lot of people that would solder little balls onto the insides of the ring shanks. I know there saw something on one of the Facebook groups saying, does anybody hate putting balls on the insides of the shanks? It really does make the rings look really, really ugly. And they do make the ring look ugly when the ring isn't on the finger. And sometimes this would help as well. And here's your ring up here.
I think when you've got a ring with a stone, it really helps to anchor, because they tend to swivel. If we've had some ladies who have got swollen joints and with big stones, and if you put the pips in like that, it just kind of grips and doesn't tip around as much.
Absolutely, it does. It
stabilises it, like anchors.
It does. It holds them onto the finger, and these will depress into the finger slightly. So as Louis said, it will stop the ring from turning around.
It doesn't want to do that, does it?
No, but it doesn't. But sometimes they don't look nice. Sometimes you got to put a little bit of a flat on them like that, so it doesn't hurt the finger. Sharon's got her ring, and she's got, you say, pips on the inside.
Yeah, that's better than balls.
Balls on the inside of your ring.
I don't like saying balls to customers. I say pips.
Well, Jason doesn't like the word balls. He just creases up. So that's one way, and some people don't like it, but it is a good way of doing it. Other way of doing it would be to get
comfort shanks.
Comfort shanks, that's not going to work. D-sections, no, that isn't going to work.
I don't know what a comfort shank is.
D-section, court shape. So court shape.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
So the other way to do it, and you can use this with some very hard, and you can buy hard white gold from suppliers, is get a piece of hard, perhaps 1.5, 2 millimeters width, perhaps 0.5 millimeter thick, and bend it into that sort of shape like that. And that has a bit of a curve like that. Okay, and you bend the strip like that, okay? And that's the strip like that, okay? You bend it like that, and then what you do then, you will solder it down here onto the shank, only in that spot there. You'd have to use a very, very high-powered torch, like a Smith's little torch, so it doesn't soften all the metal, but something like that would be ideal, because then this is flexible from round to here and round to there. bit of flexible, that will grip the finger and hold it into the ring as well. And yes, you can buy ring clips that fasten onto the inside, but the little wings come around the outside of the shank. Hate them with a passion, but they're only temporary. If your finger is swollen, the swelling will go down. Ring clips are okay because you take the ring clips off and you haven't sort of messed around with the shank too much. But pips or balls or this little horseshoe piece that goes on the inside of shanks are your next best option. Or you can buy, I can't remember what they're called, these shanks now that have the hinges and the joins in them. Can't remember. But Louise, maybe have another question, please.
Yes.
Gillian, how much is it to renew your membership? If you're a new yearly or a new 1 year, the renewal price is automatically £99. But if you're an original member from back in the day, I think it was £69 if you came on right at the beginning of the 10 years when we started. So yeah, £99 membership. The renewal is £99. Louise, may I have a question, please?
Yeah. Susan is saying, I love aquamarine stones. Are they difficult to work with?
Louise, perhaps you can answer that one.
Aquamarine, they're about a 7.5.
On the Mohs scale?
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
Mohs.
Mm-hmm.
So Susan's saying aqua can be brittle. I think it's more stable than an emerald, though, isn't it? Which is also a beryl. Yeah. So I should know this, shouldn't I?
Do
you have
Sally's book up here?
No, I think. Did it come back?
From
Dakota?
Did she borrow it?
I thought she did.
I'll have to ask for it back.
Sorry. Yeah, it's pretty stable, pretty tough, I think, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Well, not toughness, hardness,
it doesn't take heat well.
No.
Just go look after it like every other stone. Just be kind to it. Yes. But it will fracture like most other stones will. But as you say, it is a part of the beryl family, but it is a little bit more stable, a little bit more resistant. Yeah. Finger fit ring shanks. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, that's what it is. But yes, you should have no problems, providing again you just take good care. You don't put too much pressure when you come to set it, and it should be fine.
Yeah, it's a bit more durable than an emerald.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. May we have another question?
Okay. How do we get? Paul is asking, multifunction tumbler, jewellery and rock tumbling. Any recommendations?
To buy? Yes. Lawtone. We have is it an Evans tumbler? That's what we were using.
With the barrel polisher?
Yes.
You can't put stones in that then?
Well, you can, but you've got to have a special stone barrel.
So the actual physical journey bit?
Yes.
Do you need different things to tumble the thing with?
Yes.
But, okay, anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry. Asking my own personal questions. I can ask you anytime, can't I?
So if you're barrel polishing, if you're tumbling metal objects, that was Jason downstairs flapping the shank bender, that was.
He's still there?
Downstairs.
I'm not happy with Jason.
He's 5 past. Do we need to say it on air or not?
What?
I don't know, you're not happy with him.
Oh, no, after what he did to me lunchtime.
Oh, yeah.
His dad came in with the puppy. It was, I don't know what dog it was. It was a little pug, wasn't it? French Bulldog. 14 weeks old. Runs in the shop, jumps into my arms, the dog now, not Jason. And this gorgeous little puppy.
And I was out getting lunch.
I'm just getting the lunch. So Jason and his dad go, he's yours. Andrew's bought him for you. And I went, oh my goodness. And I was like, almost tearing up, holding this dog. And they went, no, we're just joking.
Just joking.
Just what a cruel joke. That's terrible.
It was terrible, isn't
Honestly,
it?
there we are.
But he was really cute, I must admit. He was
bad
cute.
afterwards. Anyway, go on. What were you saying?
All right,
barrel polisher. Sorry, Paul.
So we're barrel polishing. We're using some steel shot. You usually have to have a metalsmith barrel. Okay. Sometimes then if you look at the side of the barrel, it may have a little vein sticking out, and a vein sticking out. So when the barrel comes round, the shot comes over and it burnishes. Okay, the piece. Okay, that will be a metalsmith barrel. If you are doing stones, you don't need the veins in there, just normal ones, and then you would need different grits to barrel polish your gemstones. Obviously you put the gemstones in there rough, or the rocks in there rough. You need a coarse grit, that then will then get off all the rough edges. You then will put a finer polish, and then a finer polish again, and then a finer polish, until it actually comes around to actually polishing the stones. But manufacturers wise, I think I've got an Evans. I think we were using an Evans off the top of my head. There was a little bit of shot in the barrel. The rollers were slightly damp because obviously you put water into the barrel with some barrel soap, and it was just slipping all the time. But I've also got a Lawtone, and I would definitely recommend a Lawtone barrel. Lortone, and it is simply a box like that, and it has 2 rollers coming off it like that. There. There's a whatever. Like that.
Oh, Paul is saying we want different barrels for different applications.
Yeah, so you're going to need a metal smithing barrel or a stone polishing barrel. You should not use the same barrel because of the contaminants. So a metal smithing barrel will have your steel shot, whether they be simply torpedoes or satellites or balls or whatever you want to use in there, but always make sure you put barrel soap. I've used other things in the past, but the barrel soap has a rust inhibitor. My steel shot has never ever rusted when I've left it in the water. So always use barrel soap, not Dawn or whatever may be used, because the shot could actually rust. So a different barrel for each medium. So a different barrel for metal polishing and different barrel for stone polishing. But I've got a Lawtone. You can get it one, so there's only one barrel, which is what the one I've got, or you can put 2 barrels, which is ideal if you're doing stones, because then you could have your rough and then a slightly finer one side by side in different barrels, and then you can always then keep them going and keep them rotating. Absolutely. Next question, please.
Dana, oh sorry, no, David, I've missed your question. Any recommendations for a lapidary machine?
If you're in the UK, go to what we used to use was Hilton Brothers, Hilton. Hilton Brothers, I'm not quite sure, but now I think they're online. They call themselves Gemcraft. So just search for those. They're in Manchester.
Okay.
Yeah, so use those. They've got lapidary machines, they've got faceted machines, slabbing machines, the lot, if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, unfortunately, we don't know much about the US when it comes to this sort of thing. But this is all the same company. They're in Manchester. They were in Stockport, but Hilton Brothers, Gemcraft. Helen Hilton is the wife. John Hilton is the husband, but they both run it now. So
Okay. See
the
cogs turning in your head sometimes. Okay.
See the cogs. You smell the rubber burning, can't you? I don't know. They had a company. They had 2 companies. You see, Manchester Minerals and Hilton Brothers. Manchester Minerals was the more general public side of things, and they had the other company that was Hilton Brothers, that was more the trade supplier back in the day. Next question, please.
Okay, Dana is about to begin setting cabochons. Good thickness for back plate, setting 1 inch round 3 to 4 mil bezel.
We sort of touched on this a little bit earlier, didn't we, when somebody was asking about the thickness of a back plate. So yeah, I think that someone said 28 gauge, was it 0.7? I don't have my sheet around here, I don't think. So I think it was 0.7 was the sort of thickness that you're going to need. I should have my sheet actually tattooed inside my eyelids, because I keep, that's a bit sick, isn't it? No, so I can always see it, but no, sorry. Anyway, yes, 0.7 millimeter.
Just learn it.
Oh, I can't learn it. I can't learn things. I'm 56. I've gone past that. I've gone past learning things like that. Especially.
I've got a treat for everybody after as well. I've got some in to show you.
Okay. All right. So last question, I think, please, Louise. Shall we?
Okay. Can I? There's just 2 last questions.
Yes.
Lee bought a rough watermelon tourmaline slice. Any advice on polishing one's surface?
You're asking me? Don't know.
What about
Diamond
the diamond
laps.
polish that we remember Penny had a question about the topaz?
Yes.
Would that be any good?
I would have thought so, yes.
Or send to somewhere like Ward's
AE
and they will
Ward.
polish it for you. Yeah, if you email a photograph of what you want polished, they'll tell you what's possible and will give you an idea of costings. They're very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're very good. But apart from that, I don't know. I don't know too much. We don't know too much lipidry, do we?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm going to make Mark's question the last because he said as the last question. So, am I missing out just using a micro weld?
As last question? Yeah.
As the last question, yes.
I'm missing out using micro. I don't like micro welders, aqua flames. They're brilliant machines. Lee, all the glitters Lee, no, what's his name?
All
Lee.
that glitters Lee.
Lee, yeah, Lee.
Lee from All That Glitters.
That's the
Lee,
one.
Just Lee.
He is using aqua flame or micro welder. They're very good. They use MEK, they use distilled water, and the reaction then produces the hydrogen flame. Brilliant, really good. But I'm lazy because that machine will not allow you to melt down reasonable quantities of metal. So my argument is I'm going to need another torch. I'm going to have a micro welder for the fine little jewellery, but I want to melt down some bits and pieces, make my own wire, make my own sheets. I've got to buy another torch to do that. So why have 2 torches when you can get something like a Smith's little torch like this? We've got it with propane by here. We've also got an oxygen converter up here. And with this, for the same price, cheaper now than cheaper. This is Louise. This is cheaper than your micro welder. You can have a setup like this by the side of me here, and you're gonna say, Andrew, can you show us your setup? And I will if I can get this camera down there, and I can come wide on this. Have a look. There we go. So there's oxygen converter, bottle of what's that thing called again? Propane. Basil, yeah, Basil. This is Basil. If you want to set up like that, you can go to somewhere in the UK called Tufnell Glass. They will sell you an oxygen converter, so you don't need an oxygen bottle and have all the expense of renting a bottle. So you can run that. That would come in about £400 or £500, half the price of an aqua flame micro welder, and from that you can melt down the 2-3 ounces of metal, but do the finest job. So are you missing out by not having one? No, you're doing yourself a favour by not. I shouldn't say this really, by not having one, because a Smith's little torch will do everything and more for half the price than what a micro welder. But some people love micro welders, so that's fine. But I've had it, couldn't get on with it. Couldn't put up with the noise, absolutely. But yeah, Tufnell Glass, they sell reconditioned oxygen converters and they give them all names. Mine is called Basil. Friend of mine in south of England has just bought one based upon our recommendations, and his is called Matilda, and he's well chuffed with it.
Matilda. Who thinks of the names?
I don't know. So that was the last question. Billy is addicted to torches. I have at least a dozen different ones, including 2 water torches. Yeah, basically we've got Sievert torches. We've got these little handheld torches. We've got the brand new ones from Durston as well. They've got 2 torches. One's called a Cyclone. I don't know what that one is. I have to ask Matthew what that one is. But yeah, there's lots of torches you can buy. But if you just want one torch and you want to spend a little bit of money, get yourself an oxygen converter with propane and a Smith's little torch. But that will also run, I think, a Hokey in America as well. They'll use those as well. Yes. You've only got 6 torches, Susan. Have you? Can anyone beat that? Can anyone beat... Who's got the most torches? How's that? So what have I got?
How many have you got, Andrew?
I got 1, 2 here. I got
This
one
is
over there.
going to change into a competition now,
3.
isn't it?
I've got my Smith's Little Torch up here. That's 4. Downstairs we've got 2 more Smith's Little Torches. 4. That's 6. I've got another sieve in the other room where we do some melting down. So that's 7. I must have some more of these somewhere. So yeah, can anyone beat 7? We've got genuinely 7 that we use on a regular basis.
Nobody likes to show off. Torch off.
Torch off. Exactly.
Yeah. 2 pictures in the gallery. Oh yeah. This is the picture of your brooch. Yeah, please do share the link.
Yes.
That we'd love to see.
You're welcome, Scrap Over Engineering.
Fabulous. Okay, I gave away 3. So Susan actually had 9.
9? 10? Well, as you say, no one likes to show off.
Sandra's got 2, Joe's got 4, Susan gave 3 away. Mad, having invented 2 but 8 if I can count plumbing and steel welding ones.
Oh. So what is it? This is like a torch off. How many torches we've given away as well, is it?
3.
Sandra,
put the
you've
link
got
up.
2.
The link. I couldn't see.
What were you after?
Where did you put the link?
A link
Nothing's
for...
come through to share Martin's brooch. Can you pop it back on? I think we have to allow it, but I can't. 5 at least.
At least
Ooh.
5. Well, I don't know, Louise.
So while we're waiting for the link, shall I show my little photo here that I've got?
Yeah,
How cute
go on then.
is this?
All right, go on. Let me know when it's up.
Hang on, let me just make it bigger.
Don't forget, at the bench, August offer.
I've been
£99,
sharing.
ATB,
Yep,
$99.
there we go. I'll put it again. I have been doing it, haven't I?
Good,
I've
good,
been
good.
doing it for my
Thank you,
first.
the original and the best. New content every week.
Simply the best, or just the best.
The best. The best. Better than all the rest. Just tell us what you want us to make on YouTube and we will make the films for you. Not a little 5-minute one, but we will do nice, proper, long films. I do waffle, admittedly, but I waffle.
I don't think it's waffle.
But I
think
waffle
you just...
for a reason, because you have to go over the important points.
But what's the point of learning something superficially?
Yeah.
The waffle is the underpinning, vital knowledge that you need to fully understand the topic.
It is.
So if you think it's waffle, fine, that's okay, we don't mind that, but it's not waffle because you need a depth as well as a breadth
Yes.
of knowledge, and without that depth,
Yes.
you can't progress and be fully independent in your journey going forwards.
Exactly.
Because you're just going through the motions and being instructed rather than learning why you're doing something.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's why
Yes,
I think you're simply the best.
Yeah, you can turn around and produce a film showing how to make it easy within 20 minutes. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. There's the finished item. But that isn't the point.
It's going through the motions.
It is.
It's like a paint by numbers, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like a paint by numbers, but that doesn't teach you how to paint.
Exactly, yeah. That's your waffle for you.
Thank you.
There you are. Anyway, I've got something to show you all.
Go on then.
I have acquired a photograph.
Yeah.
This is the first documented photograph of Andrew at the bench. So we think this is 1987?
Yeah, I was 22.
22. And it was taken in his parents' garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you started off doing repairs, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was when you were a jobbing
I
jeweller?
haven't showed it yet.
No.
So I put it on. You're just building it up.
I'm doing the preamble, yeah. This is the don't spoil it. Yeah. Oh, everyone's loving the waffling. Scrap, I'm not getting the link. Yeah, no, the link. Can you see the link?
The link's not coming through, is it?
It's not coming through.
It doesn't even come up saying we've got to allow it because it's not there.
Normally, if a link comes up, I get to approve it or not. So I'm not really sure why it's not coming up. I am very sorry, but if you email me, email me the photo, perhaps I can link it up and I'd like to show it next week. Or if you want me to, otherwise I'd just love to see it.
Yeah.
So please send me the photo. Yeah. I know. How cute, Dana. Did his hair catch fire then? No.
I haven't put it up yet. We're still waiting.
The first recorded photograph of
Yeah,
you at the bench.
of me
So,
working at the bench. I'll put it on.
show the photo, please, Andrew.
There it is. So there it is. There's the
How
picture
lush is that?
of me. But what is wrong? What is wrong with the picture? What is wrong? I am right-handed, so what is wrong with the picture? The first person who can tell me what is wrong with that picture, I will send them something. But who will it be?
Look how cute you are.
Yeah, I was cute. I was 22, not a bit of grey hair. That little coat was like a lab coat. My dad used to...
Donna,
well done,
yay.
Donna. You've got it. Right, well done. Donna, drop us an email or a message.
Louise at andrewberry.co.uk.
And we'll send you something. We'll send you a little
His bench
prize.
is clean, yeah.
You're all too slow. Guys, you're too slow. Donna Jewett, you were the first one to come on, so you will win a little prize. Exactly. But everyone's got it. Well done. Exactly. Well done.
No eye protection,
Oh,
Annie.
well done as well.
Absolutely correct, yes.
Was the torch, was the flame on?
This was 1987.
This was 87, before health and safety came about.
Okay. Working hands wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Fabulous. Dana, drop me an email, louise at andrewberry.co.uk, and we can send you something nice.
Yes.
Cool. Somebody asked, what do I get from a membership that I don't get from YouTube?
Right. Well, YouTube is just purely like techniques and showing things off. Okay, so at the bench, you get the chance to talk directly to me via the messaging system that we've got. So
We'll rip it into your picture. It was 1987.
So my lab coat was for my father's company that he worked for, the Danish Bacon Company, and it was a Danish bacon white coat. But anyway, that's beside the point. No flat bottoms. I don't know. I couldn't see what I was sitting on.
But that's the same. That's the same bench that you use
downstairs
to this day.
That is the same.
And obviously
bench.
not this one, because that's his fake bench that
that's a real
he
bench.
shows the public. It doesn't work at. But yeah, that is the same bench that you use to this day, every day.
It is every day. So I still use that bench, absolutely. And I think if you look in the back of the picture as well, just behind my left hand is the steel block that Jason now still has on his bench as well. It's not the same borax cone, it's not the same borax cone dish.
Janet asked that.
She did. So what you get at the bench, you get a chance to watch
Nice mullet.
over 1,600 films on lots of topics. New films are released every single week, not once in a while.
Is there an adjustable saw on your bench?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No,
Joke.
never.
Sorry, go on.
So you get the chance of watching over 1,600 films at the moment. New films every week. Go on there. You get a chance then to save those films, make little folders, save those films in the folder. If you have want to talk to me, you've got a problem, you want just to show me something, you can then message me directly within your members dashboard. I get that message, I can converse with you. We do talk on the forums, but that's a general sort of thing. You want something specific from me, you can email me directly, so you get direct access to me, not through a forum, okay? So that's something that nobody else does. You get access to all the films, you get a chance to tell us what type of films that you want us to make. So say, for instance, we had this. Where we go. We had that. Someone else sent us some pictures of these sort of things. Let me come back on here. So we get images and pictures and they say, well, how do you make this? How do you make this? What's the best way of making this? I'm having a problem polishing. I'm having a problem doing granulation. Tell me and we will make the films based upon what you want to see.
And our member discounts.
You get member discounts, yep.
Yep. Is it 10 or 15% for members?
15, isn't it?
15% off
Gemology
Rocks.
Guess Wine, Durston, Walsh, You get discounts from being a member. You get your code that's only available for paid members. So you get that. You get a chance of winning tools every single month. You don't have to enter a competition, or we don't ask you to jump through hoops to enter to make to give you a chance of entering to win the tools and prizes. Every month, if you're a paid member, you get a chance of winning tools valued between £150, £300 every single month. And they're things like Durston shank benders, Durston doming sets, Durston jump rings, GRS tools, Ford and there's lots of tools, but we give them away free every single month. No competitions, no nothing. We just pick you from random. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, it will be shipped to you. We got the forum where people can converse and chat, and if you've got things for sale, you can put on there tools you want to sell. Your pictures is the members gallery, so you can put members pictures up on the members gallery. People then can like and give you this little heart to say how much they like it. You can comment on it. What else have we got, Louise?
There's the is it the swap shop or the
classified section on there. Basically, we will do whatever you want us to do. We're that flexible.
It's your membership, it's your site, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. Yes, and we've been going...
So it's 10 years, over a decade's
over 10 years of films. I've been in the trade for over 33 years, so you get knowledge based upon that. And we will do anything. We just don't do simple soldering or simple making of things. We do things like lost wax casting. We do casting with Delft clay. Everyone wants to do some casting with cuttlefish, casting with Delft clay. You want to do some resin work with some plastics. You want to work with some wood that inlay some metals. It's not just one or two little things. It is a broad, vast expanse settings, claw settings, bezel settings, pave settings, not invisible, but all different types of settings. Using gold, using silver. We've done a little bit of platinum work on it, but we haven't concentrated too much on that because of the expense of the metal and also the tools involved with that. We will show you from the basic, humblest beginnings, from using little torches like these that will cost you £20, £30. You don't need anything expensive, and we will show you everything that you possibly will want to know based upon nice, simple, cheap toolbox. How to solder, conditions right, how to bend metal, how to look at metal. Is it good to get one of these little flex shafts, or is it good to get a little Dremel? There's loads and loads of things that... Did they mention the giveaways? I think we did.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep, loads of giveaways.
The focus, as I say, is the focus is on. It's not so here's a project and you follow it through. It's knowing how to do things that you want to do.
Yes.
So you learn the skills and the techniques to make, you say, what you want to make and not what is prescribed. Yeah, it's
we give you the.
It's not prescriptive.
Yeah, we give you the knowledge to make the jewelry then that you want to make, not what we want you to make. So we don't say we're going to make this bracelet, and to make this bracelet you do da 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 da. There's the bracelet. Although we do projects like that, but we give you the knowledge to enable you to say, okay, well, if I can make the bracelet there, let me do something different. And it teaches you how to solder, how to shape, how to form, and everything else. Settings, stones, new tools, new products. Durston are releasing tools all the time. We get stuff from GRS to play around with, and new concepts. And everyone, we get these tools really a lot of the times before they actually reach the shops. So we can say, are they good? Are they bad? And we will show you what's what. I don't know what else to say. It's absolutely. I think it's waffle, but it's knowledgeable waffle, because you need to know the underpinning language and underpinning knowledge to produce the stuff that you want to make.
It's to make you independent, basically, to make you know why. If you don't know why you're doing something, you don't understand it, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't apply it to something else.
Yeah, exactly right. And basically we have a workshop downstairs, we have a retail establishment, we have several online websites, we have the workshop as well, and we employ, I think it's 5 of us, 6 of us now. We will do anything and everything. We've produced jewelry ranges, handmade. We've mass produced them. We do our own casting, lost wax. We do marketing. We do we do everything you could possibly want when it comes to jewelry. What are you laughing at, Lou?
Penny.
What you say?
Membership gives you the dog's What's this? Thank you, Penny.
Thank you, Penny.
I love it.
On that note, I think we shall end it.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Jules. Yes, do appreciate it. So yeah, give us a thumbs up. You know, we do these question and answers every single week as well. This is free for anybody who wants to watch. Just get your friends in on this. Give us some likes. Give us some subscribers. 101,000, over 100,000 subscribers now. So we must be doing something right. I think we're the fastest growing website out there, the largest one out there as well. And we give you all this for free as well. I think people say we're very generous with our knowledge, and we just help you. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So just check us out. Check us out. And I will be happy to chat to you till the cows come home.
You'll get...
If you remember.
You'll get bored before Andrew does, yeah.
So yeah, Larry, thank you for your little comment as well. I think you did that upon the YouTube little community little image I put up. But thank you very much, Dennis, for that, Larry, for that. Really do appreciate it. Yes?
I think Joe, it might have been Joe, asked, are we doing another 12-hour? At some point, yes. But
yes,
imminently, probably not.
Yeah.
We've just, I don't know why it's as, I say I don't know, I know why it's as busy as it is, because I keep coming up with crazy projects and new ranges, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to learn X, Y, Z. But yeah, so we need to just think about that. So yeah, there will be another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing is, it takes so much planning. It's not just a simple matter of turning the camera on, sitting here for 12 hours.
Susan said, "You're sorry to interrupt. You're the Yoda of jewellery."
Thank you
That's
very much.
Brilliant.
Not quite sure how to take that, but yeah, the 12 hours are very good. They take a lot of planning, and at the moment, we really haven't had time to even do everything that we want to try and get done. So the 12 hours, we may. Amco, thank you. We may
giving up liking you about the
so we may do the 12-hour a little bit more towards Christmas time, because I know we're trying to tie in with one or two manufacturers who are launching something big. So we're going to try and do that, aren't we? Yeah,
we do enjoy them. It is a lot of hard work. The preparation is hard because we like to know what people want to see and when and where you guys are in the world. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like we've got to better it every time we do it. So yeah, the planning gets more and more intense because we're always looking to improve. Yeah. Oh, Michael, Jason said that, didn't he?
Yeah, when he did 24. Do you know what? We can do a 24, but we're going to have to get other people in to replace me and you for a few hours whilst we go and put our head down and snooze for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been talked about. But then, if there's a lot of logistics involved in that, then it wouldn't just be me, it wouldn't just be Louise, it would be other people coming on and doing demos and things as well.
Collaboratively, which would be really good anyway.
And we'd have to get people in here to do that. But it has been talked about, and it would then reach everybody around the world, wouldn't it? But it's not something that's going to be an imminent. A 12-hour, I'd say yes. Hopefully by the end of the year.
Maybe a 24-hour with some planning, some serious planning. That's going to take some pulling off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can get Durston into chat. Oh no. Matthew is lovely. That's as far as I'm going to say. All right, should we go?
That'd be great.
Should we go?
Yeah.
Should we go home now?
Okay.
5:30.
Is it really?
It's time for tea.
Goodness me.
EK loves
thank you very much. They're a bit. I had to paint them because they were covered. They're black now, my fingernails, unfortunately, and I did scrub them. But yeah, I was doing some polishing, so my fingernails are ruined.
Absolutely.
R.I.P. fingernails. Sad.
Romy says 12 hours is enough. 12 midday to midnight.
No.
We'll have to see. It'll be on the cards, but not quite right. The 24-hour, but the 12 hours should be time for Christmas. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. 12 hours of Andrew and 12 hours of Louise. It'd be lovely to get...
I don't know what I'm going to impart for 12 hours.
You're all very welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming on today. Lovely. Thank you all for the questions. And I'm sorry if we haven't got round to your particular question. Just next time, come on a little bit earlier. Get your messages and your chats in nice and early. And perhaps we can try and get to your questions before we finish. Louise, would you like to say anything before we go?
Andrew, you're simply the best. No, actually, you're just the best.
Just-
I should say that because that's the code, isn't it?
That's the code. But when you go onto that link, you don't need a code. The code has already been populated into your shopping cart. So don't forget, at the bench, £99 membership instead of 180.
The best.
The best. Better than all the rest.
Better than
Louise,
anyone.
Do you want to say goodbye? I want to go home. I'm hungry. All
Okay.
right. Good to listen to whilst I'm making waxes. Nice. I got to do some waxes. I got to do some lost wax casting this week. I got to carry on casting those links for the bracelet.
Okay.
Louise, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Everyone, take care. We will see you all next week. Don't forget, it'll be the 23rd of August, 4 p.m. next Monday. We shall catch you then. So everyone, in the meantime, take care. Enjoy your week. We will see you next week. Take care. Say bye again, Louise. How do I say bye again?
Goodbye.
See you next week. Bye. I can never find the fade to black. I can never find the fade to black, Louise. There we go. Bye-bye.